Okay, you can go.
I don't know if I'm good to go. Holy moly.
And there goes Sheldon.
Melt.
We're trying to not get melt in the picture either, but there goes Sheldon on the swings. Tarzan! So between Sheldon and myself, we are recording for Carl today. We have reached the swings through the storm drain.
How's it called?
We miss you, Carl! And Ingrid has also joined us today, having a coffee. And we're having some fun here at the swings.
Busy? Okay. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2.
And that would be mouth tasting.
Today, 2023, where are we? August 13, Sunday. It is about, what, going on to 7:45, and Carl is not available today, so somebody else will be doing it for him. We're going up the mountain towards the west and going to the swings, and then up the second half of Sungazer, coming down Tunnelbos, going to the Old George Dam, and then making our way back to here at the Dennerwood 9th Avenue waterworks. Alright, there you have it. Enjoy.
Okay, so we have reached one of the rivers. Now we normally go across to the old dam from here, but we're not going to go that route now. We are going to go up the river. We're going to do some Bundu bashing. We're going to go through the bushes. So I am not going to hold the GoPro through this. I'm going to need my hands. So we'll catch you on the flip side.
Going up the river now.
Just check that you don't get melted.
Sweet. Good old Carl fashion. I took 2 pictures now. This is a bit of a pebble beach. Found now we're walking along this river. A magnificent tree that has fallen but is still growing. You can see a shoot over here. It's a new limb growing from the seemingly fallen tree. A nice pool here. Some bubbles from the microorganisms and minerals. Some rich stuff, this. It's quite slippy. Decomposes at work. Okay, I'm a bit in a branch tie here, so it's the end of the recording for now. Now, if that was Pebble Beach, I think this is Pebble Beach. Some very indigenous forest here. You can hear birds all around. Catch you on further up the river. I thought this was worth capturing, this wall over here. Some trees growing up that way, and this what's coming down, some roots. Make a bit of a root ball. As it decomposes, it's probably feeding off of that. Got another root ball here. There it goes up. And there's the trees. Beautiful. Some more roots coming down there. Stunning. Got some spots trying to get down here quick. But what I really wanted to capture was, not sure if you guys can see, right over there. Sorry for the hands. There's a fern growing out of this tree. So its spores have obviously landed in just the right spot. And it's growing out there. This is a tree that has fallen, but it's still growing. See these branches here, smaller ones. It's hanging on. So we've come up from there and we're heading down that way. But what a beautiful clearing into what looks to me, don't take my word for it, but some old growth forest. Some indigenous stuff. Quite a rare sight actually to see a forest of this age. So many old, oh, there's some wattle sticking out over there. Don't like that. But on this side, the forest is holding too. Some really old trees. Some laughter, happy hikers. You can see all the tops of these are off. Let me just put the screen on here. These tops broken off, so some serious wind has come through here, or maybe even the flooding could have caused that, but these old trees, they stand. Some breakage, but from that it grows. Stunning. Right, we'll catch up again on the top. They're waiting for me. And yeah. I'm just spotted this tree. I'm gonna try and make my way there so you get a size perspective. Try and be nice through the bush. Speeding the decomposition along. Yeah, there it is. That is a manure. There's a hand. I hope they protect this. Okay. Ah, now we are recording. Okay. I wasn't sure if we were powering up or powering down. Still some of this beautiful forest. You can hear all sorts of birds all around us. So we're close to the swings now. Gonna head up this way, and then I believe we're going through a just hear a rumble. I think it's from an airplane. Anyway, so we're gonna go through a drainage channel soon to the swings, which is up that way. We're gonna go slightly to the left and then around, see if I can catch that point. There's some rocks up ahead too, which they've blasted for laying the railway, which is not really being used to transport goods, just for some tourism with the power van. It's not always disappointing. But anyways, besides that, all this hard work being put in. Just through there, you can see some of the rocks. And they work out that angle. I think it's 15 degrees. I've read up some things on Thomas Bain, who's done Prince Alfred's Pass. And he worked on his walls for 15 degrees and used the friction force of the rocks. That's what kind of holds them in place. And the angle keeps it there. The friction and the angle together. And yeah, let's go to that wall. So I mentioned we'll be going up left. That's where we've come up this way. We're heading up there. There's that wall. Definitely looks more than 15 degrees. I know sand, or when I'm piling a compost heap, it naturally falls to about 30 degrees, 35 degrees. So maybe that's the kind of slope they use here. Got a lot to learn there. I just thought it would be worth mentioning. So friction is holding that wall up. All those rocks that have been blasted in place to hold the railway up there. And yeah, looks like about the natural slope of about 30 degrees. Not a Thomas Bain's built wall where they strategically place rocks at 15 degree slope using wide, big boulders, lots of friction on each other, holding it in place. If you haven't yet, you should really go look at the Prince Alfred's Pass and its construction. Incredibly beautiful, or in a lot of knowledge. A lot of stuff to learn there is what I'm trying to say. A little bit out of breath. Just come up that river. This is the left side we've come up. We're gonna go through a tunnel now. So we're not going to see too much of that wall I'll go read up a bit about Mr. Thomas Bain. Scottish South African, born in South Africa from Scotland. And yeah, this railway's got to do with the Dutch East India Trading Company, I believe it is. I've got a bit of Dutch heritage to me. It makes me very proud to know that these things were built here. Slave labor, I do believe, or imprisoned people. Maybe it helped them come right. Yeah. So we'll be heading through there. Just getting melt out the frame. Right. Should I go first, then I can record it through?
Yes, get rid of the
Cool.
spiders. Thank you.
Oh yeah. Oh, spiders, you say? Well, let's go in. I don't have a light. They've got lights behind me. So there hasn't been a lot of rain, so this is safe to do. I mean, we've just walked up a river, which is not flowing too strong. Just go a bit slower so the lights can adjust. And this is where we're coming out. See if I can get up here smoothly. There we are. Wow. So Pebble Beach was down here. This is Sandy Loam Beach. Oh, stunning.
I don't even do this when it's raining.
There's the swings. A stunning tree. So, yeah, on this side I can definitely see that is a natural sloping wall that they've built there. They've just thrown rocks down and let it naturally form its angle. Difficult. If I maybe capture it sideways, say that's 35, 40 degrees, maybe even a 45, yeah, that side there. But up here, oh, up there is definitely about 30 degrees. So yeah.
Okay, you can go. And there goes Sheldon. We're trying to not get melt in the picture either, but there goes Sheldon on the swings. Tarzan! So between Sheldon and myself, we are recording for Carl today. We have reached the swings through the storm drain.
How's it going?
We miss you, Carl! And Ingrid has also joined us today, having a coffee, and we're having some fun here at the swings.
No, you're fine, you're fine,
It is cool.
Yeah.
Again.
Adults having fun.
How do I get off now?
Carefully. Once again, pull up on your arms, release your body weight from your foot, and then no, keep going, keep going.
So we are leaving the swings now, and we've had a little bit of a snack as well. Finished playing, and we are now going to go up there to the railway, and then from there we are going to head to Sungazer. So So a bit of scrambling again. We've had a nice fun with Bundu bashing, and now we're going to do some more. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
So the railway is up there. The more I look at this, the more I see 45 degrees there though. It's difficult to tell with the camera. Here is very 30 degree. See, the more I'm looking, 30 degrees, 35 degrees. Be interesting to find out what they've actually used, or if they've used a natural slope, and that natural slope is that 30-35. So anyways, enough of that. We're going up here. So you think it's that way? Oh, it's that way. Just come from there. Right, I wasn't sure if I was recording right way or upside down now, but we've just walked the railway from that side to the left, to the right, Bietjie rigting Bundu. And now we're going to go through a tunnel. This is the railway in the Otanuku Mountains. Really nice path. The odd wattle. I really do not like wattle. One day when I play my cards right, these will be gone, and hopefully I will be a part of that. Got quite a draft pulling through here. This is not such a freaky tunnel, but when there's a curve to it, someone once told me there's a reason why there's a curve to the tunnel. But when there's a curve to a tunnel, that's when it's kind of freaky. You can't see the end, you just go into darkness. Definitely got some tunnel vision.
These things actually stand there when the train comes. Well, at least that's what I would do.
Isn't that a lovely sight? A fallen eucalyptus. That's what it looks like from here. Oh yeah. Australasian tree. Don't want you here, mate. Right, we've just come through that tunnel. And we're heading this way. So I did just stop recording. That's where we came out the tunnel. And we're going to be heading to the right, that way. You can see some waterworks they've done here. The river flows underneath, goes that way. So this is our not so apparent path. Melt's up ahead, so I'll catch a camera. I'll start recording again soon. Right, we've just come off the railway there, through these ferns. This is almost, I haven't really taken note of a fern like this before. Really thick green stem. I don't know if it's just at a different stage of growth from what I've noticed, because these look very familiar. But it's got that brown stem almost looks thinner and this green stem. There are so many different species of them. But yeah, thought that's interesting. So we're headed that way. Let's take you along. Oh. Lovely stuff to walk on. You kind of choose your path with it. Resilient nature. From falling over, it's made an opportunity to grow. I'm wondering if that thicker green stem stuff doesn't somehow, the fern now, doesn't somehow become this one. I don't know if you can recall earlier on in that old growth, which I think is old growth forest, where we saw a lot of those ferns that had grown up with the heads that have broken off. That's the kind of fern I'm talking about, like this one. So those stumps we saw would have had heads like this. Now that I look a bit closer, I don't think it's the same fern. Looking at this leaf unfolding, it's not growing the same. Anyways, we're heading up this river, again another river. So we've got these same beautiful trees. I see wattle and I see some eucalyptus. It's invading slowly down here. These old trees will hopefully keep them off. Oh, they're waiting for me. So this is where the sun gazer begins. Just before that sun gazer path, which is up that way, got a nice pool here. The more of these pools you stumble upon. I lost my words looking at this site. Stunning. Let's take you up this single track. Oh, it's muddy up here. In efforts of preserving the camera, we'll end the recording for now. Spring is in the air. Look at all those flowers. It's a bit cool today for pollinators. I was sure these would be full. On a similar pinkish flower to this, I've seen a lot of bumblebees before. There's some more over here. This is more like a plant. The flower is incredibly similar to that, which looks way more like a tree to me. Maybe this flower is growing in between the tree. Let's go have a good look. That's exactly what's happened. So as I was looking at the tree, it's looking more and more like a eucalyptus. I don't really like them. And that looks like an indigenous flower. My limited knowledge. Right, we're going up here. There's Georgetown. I want to see what this plus button does. Oh. Not so smooth, but that's Georgetown. This is where the sun geyser comes down to the river, and we've come up this way. There's some young trees that's popped up on this side, and there's evidence of fire. I'm wondering if they're not wattle. Some eucalyptus. When they're young, they look quite similar to each other, to me anyways. I'm still learning to identify my trees, but why I mention this is there's evidence of fire, and they also like fire, especially wattle, and they grow a bit quicker than our indigenous trees, and by being introduced here they take over. This looks like our kind of tree. That's definitely a fynbos. There's the evidence of the fire. Imagine coming down here on a bike. This is that sapling kind of that I'm talking about. Not too sure what it is. I hope it's indigenous, because there's a lot of them that's popped up on this slope. And there's just so many types of wattle and so many types of eucalyptus. Then also so many types of our own trees. I really hope that's our trees coming back here, taking over. Anyways, it's beautiful. More evidence of a fire coming through here. Taking a lot of the small stuff out. A lot of fynbos here on this side. All these different smells. Talking about these trees has got me thinking. Got a friend who's pretty clued up with this stuff, and he's mentioned before there's an indigenous tree. It's quite important, and it looks a lot like the wattle. And the more I look at this, it's identical to the saplings on that slope I keep pointing or talking about that's popped up after this fire. And I really, really hope that that is what it is. I'm wondering, why don't you tell us in the comments, what do you think this tree is? It's not a wattle. It's not wattle. But is it a type of acacia, which is then an Australasian tree? Is it our indigenous lookalike to the wattle? Let us know what you think.
So it was like impossible to find the same concert date because it's a lunch.
There's Georgetown.
Next weekend, we've got like a little.
Very wide lens there. Alright, so we've come down that path. There's the mountain. We're gonna be going down that one there, but we've come to a fork in the road. So we're going towards the pine. And, yeah. Imagine that was a yellowwood tree. Ah, how lovely would that be? I hope it's not upside down. Carl, wouldn't you flip the image if it is? This looks like a eucalyptus to me. And then this one, well, that's eucalyptus. That I'm not too sure. It's got a compound leaf. Very red. And this one, I wonder if that's not our look that I mentioned earlier, lookalike of wattle. It's actually indigenous. Probably sound like a broken recorder speaking about the wattle and the eucalyptus, but I'm really trying to learn this, and to identify them is quite important. Try and get involved in regenerating what used to be here, getting this old stuff out. All these unfavorable trees, I believe they were brought for lumber. And they spread like hotcakes. Here's a pine. I wonder if they are now declared as naturalized. You know, been brought here. Got some European pine, we've got American pine. Not sure which one they've got grown here. There's also so many types. One day I'll have a channel which Carl will send over. This is a wattle, 100% freaking acacia. Do not like it. Here's wattle. One thing I find interesting on the wattle, its leaves. It's actually not leaves, it's specialized branches which act like leaves. Worth the read if anyone is interested. Isn't that a nice sight, a fallen wattle? Ah, there's the old dam. I'm gonna end the recording here so we've got at least enough to put in the video that it doesn't get too long, so we can get some good footage of the dam. We're in alien forest, yeah. To my knowledge. That is eucalyptus. There's another one of those trees with that compound leaf that is growing here with what I think is eucalyptus, I'm pretty sure. Still learning these things, so please guys, be nice. There's that compound leaf one. It's growing very close to, there's one here again. So there's many eucalyptus. I think when I read it, it's a family of over 800 flowering tree species. It was found mostly in Australia. And wattle, acacia, also, I think that was about 400 different, I don't know if it was flowering trees, can't remember. But yeah, this wattle. That's something that could be indigenous. There's a whole bunch of yuki. Anyway, I'm going off on the trees. We should be talking about the paths. So, I just went off to the left here. We've been coming down here. Feel free to edit these tree things out, Carl, please. But yeah. So we've been coming down here. Some bicycle guys have been coming down too. It seems like quite a fun trail. And just here on the right hand side is the old dam. Some people call it the Leaky Dam. I like that name. Maybe the people will come and make it not so leaky the more we are talking about a leaky dam. So coming down here through alien forest, the fynbos, the ferns struggling to survive underneath this canopy. And I mean, if you look earlier on in the video, you can see all those ferns under those massive trees, getting the filtered light down, keeping the roots cool. This is what it looks like when forestry happens, and then the land gets left. I'm all for forestry, but the right kind, when they replant and manage. Imagine a forest, a forestry forest now, that replicated indigenous forests or indigenous spaces where a yellowwood grew, a stinkwood. You see, I'm knowing more alien trees than my own trees or our own trees. But just imagine a whole variety of trees grown as a forest for forestry. Wouldn't that wood be so happy and healthy? All the different organisms, flora and fauna that would grow with that. Here's a wattle in flower. It is actually kind of pretty, I'll give it that. But yeah, even these typical forestry trees, your firs and your pines, and I can see pine grows well here. They grow many types of pine, and imagine they mix them up a bit, let them grow kind of more natural. Wouldn't it support more life? Anyway, we're coming up to the dam now. On the right hand side. Apparently there's bass in here. I've read somewhere on the forum. I still want to hike up here. I could never knew where it was. Still wanted to hike up here and throw a lure a bit, but I need to renew my license before I do that. I don't want a ranger finding me up here. I'm here by an overflow. Just love the old way, how they used to build. This has been here a couple of years. And this seems to be quite natural going down this way. Let's go down there and see the wall. And then we're gonna go to the top. So I'm getting very slippy here. Footage might go a bit bonkers. Alright. This is really slippy. I really want to capture this wall. Oh, getting there. Yeah. Whoops. Oh, that was me going down. That's why it's called the Leaky Dam. Oh, sorry for the shakiness. I've fallen a couple of times coming up here now. So it's kind of interesting. It's like on the seam. there it's smooth. Now this is curved. That gives it strength. Almost like a dome or an eggshell. Some rich water, that. Full of good stuff. Alright, I'll catch you on the top of the wall. This is the dam. Won't lie, I thought it was bigger, but it is pretty big. We were just down there, on that side, on the side of the wall. There was probably something on top of this where the service people could walk over. What's down here? Yeah, steps. Indeed. I've never been here. The odd bubble I see on the top of the water, that's very typical of carp when they feed on the bottom. And they usually out-dominate bass. Right here, you can actually see some bubbles popping up. Hope you can see that. That's typical of carp feeding on the bottom. I don't know how they outcompete the carp, the bass, sorry. But I've read that somewhere, because I mean they're eating different things. Carp is not really hunting frogs and bugs and small fish. So I mean the carp could be making babies and the bass eat the babies of the carp. So I do not understand how they outcompete each other. But I know carp can be very destructive. There's definitely stuff living in this water.
That's why I go swimming.
This is a good view of the curve. That's where the strength lies. Where when this is full, it can actually hold. Oh, we've got an angle. Right, I'm gonna have some boiled eggs. Catch you later.
I nearly took you down with me.
So I've just been informed, and this is why I thought it was bigger. This is a leaking dam, it's not the leaky dam. The other one is called the George Dam. This one, not too sure of its history. Definitely most likely. Definitely most likely, what kind of sentence is that? Most likely for irrigation purposes. George, quite a bit of agri, some hops. A lot of hops are grown in the green strip. This could have been drinking water supplied too. But that's definitely what the other one was for. So I think this one is the irrigation one. Excuse me then. So yeah. Some maintenance needed. I thought I ran out of battery there. I think I'm gonna keep the clips a bit shorter. We're leaving the dam now, going up this way. Here's another slipway. I wonder if the water will ever reach here again. And up this way we go. And away we go.
It's like, oh, have I switched it on properly?
Back to this tree. Here's some more identifying factors, I believe. There's a pinky flower on it. So this is that one that I'm thinking is a lookalike to a wattle. It looks from a distance, it looks like a wattle, but it's actually an indigenous tree. Possibly, I'm really not sure. I'm learning. Learn with me. Here it is again. a good amount here. That there, oh, I can't see the screen. There we go. Oh, you guys might not be able to see. That there's a eucalyptus, 100%. You can see that top canopy, the stem, that red in the new leaves, 100%. Some people, or a variety of them, is those big blue gums. If people have heard of blue gums or blokkom, something similar to that. That's what that is. Over here. Come on screen. There we go. Let me zoom in on that. There we go. That one there. Right there. Eucalyptus is its family. It could be a blue gum, common name. Some dead pine, possibly. No, look at the bark. That's not pine. This is a tree episode. Looking for trees on a hike. So when the eucalyptus gets older, it gets very distinct bark. And that's when I can really tell it apart. It's very like dry. Some almost looks like pine kind of bark. But it's, I don't know. Watch something from Australia. You see how many of those Australasian trees are standing here by us. Anyway, oh yeah, here we go. Let's go look at this one. You can see that tip, that bark. That's the one we looked at from up there. That stringy bark, very dry. If you peel it off, you can actually start fires with it. That's invasive. There's a possible lookalike. At the end of this video, we're gonna know of that one. Or we're not. Don't tell Malty's on camera. That could be a dead pine. This is a very mixed forest down here. Just came from that way. Hoppa. So we've walked down this way. We're gonna be heading that way. Something's caught our eye this way. But it's becoming quite a Bundu bash by the looks of it. I haven't joined them yet. What caught my eye was this tree. I was thinking it's very much an alien, possibly eucalyptus. Look at this. Two types of leaves. Got a single leaf and some other, like a compound leaf. Very interesting. Yeah, it's got it closer. And I wonder what that is. And there's another one without the compounds. Oh wait, out on top. 2 in 1. Gotta learn my trees, man. So this is what's caught their eye. Bit of a retaining wall here. The water is actually traveling underneath it. Out there. And that way. Battery's low, I want to keep it short. and try and get the whole hike in. We've just come off the main road there. Seems like kind of a contour path. And let's come down in here just to have a look quickly. One thing I'll never understand is littering. Where did you expect this to go? Where? Ah, you put it in the bin, it goes just to the landfill. It's difficult. But yeah, why do you leave it out here? So we've just taken a side path down off of that kind of main road, and I found this interesting. I mentioned a very distinct bark. It helps me identify kind of a eucalyptus, and that, I believe, is that bark I mentioned. There's another one over here. Got some pine coming up here. Such a distinct bark too. Although they're not from here, I do like my pine. It's given us a lot of lumber. Oh, excuse me. And yeah. Few options here. Oh, take this one. When I look at these trees from a distance, I would say it's a wattle. When I go closer, I become unsure. Hoppa. See what the wind does. Hectic. Definitely some fire damage came through, and it's also some wind. Let's count some rings. This is a pine that they've cut because it's been in the path, or fell over and it's been in the path. I find it easy to start on the outside. Let's go 1, 2. Oh, that's tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Let's call it 22 years old. I like that idea. I'm not older than many trees that big, and yeah, I'm older than this tree. So we've come down that path and joined onto the railway line just above the botanical gardens, and I actually have forgotten to record. I'm holding the camera in my hand the whole time. I could have recorded that turn, but what caught my eye now was, here's a big eucalyptus. That's how big they can get, and they kind of lose their bark and they get all smooth. And yeah, I've never really seen a blue gum, but I have seen very blue tinges on them, especially after a long period of cold weather this time of the year. See, I can actually, when I'm looking at that, I can see a tinge of blue on the stem of that one there. Yeah, walking on the railway line. The group is just around the corner. shell spot. There's the group. Some neglected pine forests, yeah. They came and took all the nice lumber, planted the pine. It's just kind of been forgotten. I don't know. Probably changed too many hands. Right, battery's low. This is the end of the recording for now. I think we'll finish up closer to the end there. I hope you've enjoyed this different kind. Carl couldn't join today, but I'm sure he's going to slap a nice video together for you guys based on what Sam and I have taken. Yeah, just following the railway line now from the Botanical Garden side through back to where we've started on 9th Avenue. Some nice trees. But hey, what a change of scenery from this morning. Now walking on a man-made path. Earlier we were walking on a 100% nature-made path up the river. Started with a small pebble beach, found a bigger pebble beach, and went through that drainage tunnel and got to the swings. Tell you what, those swings are quite the rush. And yeah, they are put up quite well. I've put my faith in those rope, and it held me. Yeah. This is a lot of foreign trees coming up now. Oh. Good lumber, I'll tell you that. But whose lumber is it? Oh, that's a barber chair. So then this was hanging over. You see where they cut? They started cutting in and then it split up. Now if that was a massive tree, like one of those, that could have killed the cutter. Cut at the bottom, tree splits up halfway. What happens? Comes down. So there's a mini example. Why you must know what you're doing when you cut. This is a small tree. That's why a small diameter, you don't need experience really. Although these are aliens, they're really some beautiful trees though. And they have been here for years. They've been holding the soil together. They use up a lot of water though. But George is cold and wet. Used to be anyways. These things work on cycles, I believe. So there is enough water for them and the other stuff maybe. But that is beautiful. I'll really give them that. Australia trees. Some commonly named green wattle here. Typical green stem. And terrible firewood. It's pop nut. Just makes ash. A lot of eucalyptus in there. And a lot on this side. Probably been planted for lumber. Just changed too many hands and Maybe it'll be harvested, maybe it'll be left. I wouldn't mind one of these trees. Put some yellowwood back. Battery's getting really low now. I think I'm gonna maybe do a brief finish of the video here, just in case I can't get one later on. So we've walked up from the Botanical Gardens up the railway, and here's a chill spot. Used to be not unknown, but not too known. Everybody kind of wanted to come here, but no one really, not too many people did. So it's a nice tree. Very interesting way that it's grown, you'll see now. Some crazy roots going down, some water that flows. Let's go have a look. This is memory lane. I have illegally taken off of school before, a couple of years back, and we've come up here. Oh, one guy was determined he's going to bring his bike up with, and on the side of the railway. That was funny watching. He wasn't a very experienced rider, never really rode in any off-road. And riding on a rail is equivalent of some good enduro riding, you know. Yeah, XR 125, just after the Bros. Drum brake, disc brake in the front, drum at the back. 125 scrambler type motor or bike, Honda. And yeah, that was an adventure. So we've nicknamed this before Narnia, but Carl and his group have got another different Narnia, and this was our Narnia. So this is the interesting growth I mentioned. Last time I was up here, I actually sat on that when it was broken like that, and put a lot of faith in it. And I kind of wish I didn't now, looking at how it's moved. That was very risky. But yeah, beautiful big tree. And there's actually running water, very lightly runs down here, very dependent on the rain. But cool. If I don't have enough battery for a proper finish of the video, I think we can call it here. Great. Let me quickly, I'm gonna go there. Yeah, I finished recording down there. I just wanted to light a cigarette for old time's sake. Yeah, I've been here quite a few times with the friends who are now distant friends, caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, all trying to build our own island. Still can't understand that. But anyway, thanks for joining. If the battery doesn't allow me to, you know what, yeah, let's call it here. Let's call it here.